Okay, so today I'm just going to show you quickly how I'm going to compose a very cheap little scene. It doesn't look great, but just to give you the principle of how to layer together different shots in order to create an effect. In this case, I'm going to put a shark underwater. So the first step here is finding some stock footage of a shark. This is Storyblocks, so this is a really good subscription to have. It's got loads of footage of different kinds, and it's pretty cheap. It's a yearly subscription, unlimited downloads. You get full copyright, so you can use it freely on your YouTube channel. It's also got tons of music. So once I've downloaded the clip, I haven't downloaded this one because I've already downloaded it before I recorded this video, but I'm also going to download some music. So let's find some appropriate music. I want something kind of like horror, a bit suspenseful to underlay on the video. So I'm going to choose any one of these. I'm going to just download it, and let's move over to Final Cut to put all of this together. I've also need one more element, which is an underwater scene. So I found this one on Pixabay for free. So let's move out and get into Final Cut now. Okay, so we're here in Final Cut. The first thing I'll do is put the bottom layer, which is the underwater scene, on the bottom in track 1. Then I'm going to overlay the shark green screen on layer 2, and then I'm going to apply the keying effect. So this is usually called chroma key, and you can see with no tweaking at all, it's very easily sort of layered that shark on top of the background scene. But as you'll see now, it kind of looks really cut out. You can do a few things. You could soften the edges, you could change the transparency of the shark itself a little bit. But what I'm going to do here is actually overlay something else. So I'm just retiming the scene below so that it roughly matches the length of the clip with the shark in it. And as you can see, now it's about the same length after I've retimed the bottom clip. Now I'm going to grab a different layer. Whoops, not this one. I'm going to actually grab an element from the library here in Final Cut Pro. So this is a water effect, and I'm going to extend it in order to be the same length. And then I'm going to tidy up the ends here. And now you will see that as I play, as it's on the top, it entirely covers the other two layers. So you can't see anything. So I'm going to change the opacity here. And now you can see that with less than 100%, as I slide down, you can now see the shark and the background layer. And because of this kind of water effect on top, it's harder to see that this shark has been keyed on top. So that's already improved the effect, and I'm going to now move on to actually adding some sound onto this. Half of the impact with video comes from sound. So if you have the appropriate music layered on top, you can really distract people from seeing what might not be the best effect. So great music, good timing, and making things dark is generally a good idea, but here for this example, I've basically just left it light so that you can see what's going on. But if you watch this in a movie, you'd obviously say this is terrible special effects. But you can really tweak this a lot. And in future videos, I'm going to show you how to improve this further. But for now, I'm going to find my audio. I'm just checking to see if the audio's sounding okay, if it's reasonably well placed. And luckily here, it's not a lot of work. So Now it's just a matter of trimming this down. Okay, now I just want to put a very basic title on the end, just to end it somewhere. So here are a few 3D titles from Final Cut Pro. This rotate, not sure about this one. I don't think this will work very well. No. Let's do something zoomy. I think something zoomy would work better. So yeah, scale 3D, that sounds pretty good. Let's try that out. Okay, now that the music, as I said, often it is a case of timing, and the music coincides with the cut there, so you don't need to use a transition because the audio is acting as your cut point or transitional point. So it distracts the viewer, and that kind of boom is the transition. So what shall I call it? Jaws X? Yeah, why not? Anyway, that is my very rough and ready little clip, just to show you how to layer things together. Now I'm going to export it and show it to you in its full glory. Just a bit of tidying up there on the edges, and there we go. Okay, now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to put an overlay onto the video clip in order to have a particle effect over everything else and give it a bit of a vignette over, and you'll see the particles sort of floating over in the background of that title. They're most obvious, and that gives it, again, a bit more of a cinematic effect. And I'm going to export it now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Next time I'll show how to tweak a video like this and make it look more cinematic.